Hello, and welcome to the English Listening Practice Podcast from English Pod Studio. This podcast is created to help you practice your listening and speaking skills in English. I will speak slowly and clearly so you can understand each word, and you can also repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. Today, we are going to talk about something many people already love: movies. Movies are not just for entertainment. They can also be one of the best tools for learning English. You might already watch movies in English, but are you using them in the right way for learning? In this episode, we will explore how movies can help you improve your English, why they are useful, and what strategies you can use to learn more effectively. Let's start with a simple idea. Movies bring English to life. When you open a textbook, you often see short dialogues like, "Hello, how are you?" "I'm fine, thank you." These are good for beginners, but they are not enough. In real life, people speak faster, use more natural expressions, and sometimes use slang. Movies give you exactly that: real, natural English in action. Another reason movies are great is because they are full of context. Context means the situation around the words. If you only read a list of vocabulary, it's hard to remember. But when you hear the same word inside a story, you connect it to the character, the emotion, and the scene. This makes it easier to remember and use later. For example, imagine you watch a movie where a character shouts, "Hurry up!" You will see their face, hear their tone, and understand the situation. Later, when you need that phrase in real life, you will remember it more clearly because it is connected to that movie scene. Movies also expose you to different accents and styles of English. In one film, you might hear American English. In another, you hear British English, Australian English, or even different regional accents. At first, it may feel difficult, but the more you listen, the easier it becomes. This prepares you for the real world, where people speak in many different ways. Now, let's talk about the benefits of learning English with movies. Number 1, listening skills improve naturally. When you listen to actors, you hear real pronunciation, connected speech, and intonation. Your ears get used to the flow of English. Number 2, vocabulary grows quickly. Movies are full of useful words and phrases, from everyday conversations to special topics like crime, travel, or love. You learn language in context. Number 3, pronunciation gets better. You can copy the way actors speak. This practice, called shadowing, helps you sound more natural and confident. Number 4, cultural understanding increases. Movies show daily life, traditions, humor, and values. You don't just learn the language, you learn how people live and think. Number 5, motivation stays high. Sometimes studying grammar feels boring, but when you watch a movie you enjoy, learning becomes fun. And when learning is fun, you keep doing it every day. So movies give us listening, vocabulary, pronunciation, culture, and motivation, all in one package. That is why they are such a powerful learning tool. But of course, there is a problem. Many learners say, "I tried watching movies in English, but I didn't understand anything. The actors spoke too fast. I felt lost." This is normal. It happens to everyone in the beginning. The key is not to give up. The key is to use movies in the right way. Now we will learn practical strategies, how you can actually use movies step by step to improve your English skills. Let's begin with a question. Should I watch with subtitles or without subtitles? This is one of the most common questions learners ask. The answer is use subtitles in a smart way. If you are a beginner or lower intermediate learner, it is fine to start with subtitles in your native language. This helps you follow the story. But don't stop there. At B1-B2 level, you should move to English subtitles. Why? Because they connect the sound with the written word. You hear the pronunciation, and at the same time, you see how it is spelled. This builds both listening and reading skills. Here's a method you can try. Watch the scene once with English subtitles. Then watch the same scene again without subtitles. Check if you can catch the words by listening. This simple exercise will improve your ear step by step. Now, let's talk about repetition. Many learners watch a movie only once and move on, but if you really want to learn, repetition is key. Choose short scenes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes long. Watch the scenes several times. The first time, just enjoy the story. The second time, focus on listening carefully. The third time, pause and repeat key sentences. This method makes the language stick in your memory. Another powerful method is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a line and then immediately repeating it, copying the actor's pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. For example, if the actor says, "What are you doing here?" you repeat it at the same speed with the same tone. This helps you sound more natural when speaking. At first, it may feel difficult, but with practice, your speaking will improve quickly. Let's also talk about choosing the right movies. Not every movie is good for learning English. Some movies are too difficult. For example, movies with heavy slang, historical dramas with old-fashioned language, or science fiction films with technical vocabulary. At B1-B2 level, try to choose movies that use everyday conversation. Romantic comedies, family dramas, or adventure films are usually easier to follow. Animated movies are also excellent because the language is clear and the stories are simple but engaging. If a full movie feels too long or difficult, start with TV shows or series. Episodes are shorter, around 20 to 40 minutes, and characters repeat the same expressions in many episodes. This repetition makes it easier to learn. Another tip is to use scripts. Many popular movies and shows have transcripts or subtitles available online. Reading along while listening can help you understand much better. After reading once, close the script and try listening again. You will notice a big difference. It's also important to focus on key phrases, not every word. Don't worry if you don't understand 100%. Even native speakers don't catch every detail in movies. Focus on useful phrases that you hear again and again. For example, expressions like, "Let's go," "Are you ready?" or "Don't worry about it." These are everyday English phrases you can use in real life. Let me give you an example of how to practice with a single scene. Imagine you're watching a comedy film. First, watch the scene with English subtitles. Understand the situation. Second, write down 3 useful phrases. For example, "Come on, we're late." "That's not fair." "I can't believe it." Then repeat those phrases aloud, imitating the actor. Fourth, watch again without subtitles and see if you can catch the phrases. If you do this with just one scene every day, after 1 month, you will know many new expressions and your listening will be much sharper. Now, let's also consider pronunciation practice. Movies are a great resource because you can hear how native speakers stress words. In English, stress and intonation carry meaning. For example, the question, "Really?" can mean surprise, doubt, or excitement depending on the tone. By repeating lines from movies, you learn not only the words but also the feeling behind them. Another benefit of using movies is that you can connect learning to your emotions. When you laugh at a funny scene or feel touched by a romantic moment, you are more likely to remember the language from that scene. Emotion makes memory stronger. So, to summarize the methods, use subtitles wisely. Start with English subtitles, then try without. Repeat short scenes several times. Practice shadowing by copying actors. Choose movies and shows with everyday English. Focus on useful phrases, not every single word. Connect language to emotion and context. Now, we'll go deeper. I will share advanced strategies, talk about common mistakes, and give you a recap so you can use movies effectively in your daily study routine.
Let's start with some advanced strategies. 1. Take notes actively. When you hear a useful phrase, pause the movie, write it down. But don't just write the translation. Write the phrase in English and include the situation. For example, I can't take it anymore. When someone feels very stressed. By linking the phrase to the situation, you will remember it more easily. Later, review your notes and try to use the phrases in your own sentences. 2. Practice role play. This is a fun method. Choose a scene you like. Watch it once. Then, pause and speak one character's lines yourself. Pretend you are the actor. You can even act out the scene with a friend. This is not only good for speaking, but it also helps you feel the rhythm of natural conversation. 3. Record yourself. Many learners feel shy about speaking, but recording yourself can help. Choose 1 or 2 lines from a movie. Say them out loud and record your voice. Then compare your pronunciation with the actors. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just notice small differences and try again. Over time, your pronunciation and confidence will improve. 4. Focus on chunks of language. A chunk is a group of words that often go together. For example, at the end of the day, by the way, or a long time ago. These are easier to learn as whole pieces, not word by word. Movies are full of such chunks. When you hear one, note it down and practice it. 5. Review in small pieces. Instead of trying to watch a whole 2-hour movie in one sitting, focus on short parts, maybe one scene a day. Consistency is better than intensity. A little every day is more powerful than a lot once a month. Now let's talk about common mistakes learners make when using movies. The first mistake is watching passively. Some people just watch for fun and hope their English will improve automatically. Of course, you will learn something, but not very much. To really improve, you need to watch actively, pause, repeat, write notes, and practice speaking. The second mistake is trying to understand every single word. This is not realistic. Even native speakers miss words sometimes. Focus on the main meaning and pay attention to useful expressions. Don't stop every 10 seconds, or you will lose the joy of the story. The third mistake is choosing movies that are too difficult. If you watch a film full of complicated slang, Old English, or technical vocabulary, you may feel discouraged. Start with something easier. It's better to understand 70% of a movie and enjoy it than to understand only 10% and give up. The fourth mistake is never reviewing. If you watch a movie once and forget about it, the language will not stay in your memory. Review your favorite scenes several times. Repetition is the key to fluency. The fifth mistake is being shy to imitate. Some learners think, if I copy an actor, I will sound silly. But actually, imitation is one of the best ways to learn. Don't be afraid to sound dramatic or emotional. The more you practice, the more natural you will become. Now, let's do a quick recap of everything we learned in this episode. Movies are a powerful tool because they give you real English, cultural knowledge, and strong motivation. Use subtitles wisely. Start with English subtitles, then try without. Watch short scenes multiple times and practice shadowing. Choose movies or shows with everyday language, especially comedies, dramas, or animated films. Focus on useful phrases and chunks of language, not every single word. Use advanced strategies like note-taking, role-play, recording yourself, and reviewing regularly. Avoid common mistakes. Don't watch passively, don't aim for perfection, and don't give up too quickly. If you follow these steps, movies will become more than entertainment. They will become your classroom, your teacher, and your friend. Before we finish, I want to encourage you. Learning English can sometimes feel hard, but when you connect it with something you love, like movies, it becomes easier and more fun. Every time you watch, you are not just enjoying a story. You are building your listening, your vocabulary, and your confidence. Thank you for listening to this episode of the English Listening Practice podcast from English Pod Studio. I hope you feel inspired to try learning English with movies in a more active way. Remember, practice every day, enjoy the process, and keep growing step by step. This is Emma, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Until then, happy watching, happy learning, and goodbye for now.